Hey, what's up, Gas Army? Welcome to my Caustic Guide video. First off, I just want to say, I think you guys will really enjoy this video. This video is going to go full in depth on like almost everything I know about Caustic, period. Quite frankly, I put in a ton of hours in a Caustic, and I think I've learned a lot of things a lot of other Caustics don't do, so let's get right into it. So the first topic I want to go over is the roles that Caustic can fulfill for a team. The first role is anchor. As a team, you know, if you're holding like a building, you know, as an anchor, you know, you're fortifying where your area is, you're making your place better, you're also holding your ground. I shot my gas down there, just keep trying to come up. Watch out. I naded him. Down one! I'm going to be going over trap placement in this video, but like when the teammate goes down, obviously you could throw a gas trap and go right for the res. You have like a little bit of covering. Also, talking about resing, he also fulfills being a support in a sense. Like, say if you don't run a support character on your squad, like you can kind of fulfill that as Caustic. I need to sub some gas. Alright. Okay, watch out for that second nade. Nice, let's go.
Shields recharging. Healing. Shields are depleted.
Teammate goes down at a building, lock a door, you know, go for the res. Like, if you're out in the open, you know, throw your trap out, you can shoot it. If you don't know, you could also melee your trap to set it off, and that gives you that cover to go for a res. Also, as Caustic, you can use them as an area control. Like, what I mean by that is, like, you can deny teams from using certain parts of the map. Okay, I'm doing it! It's taking 2! 100 on 1! Let's go! This thing better spit out so many arc stars! Okay, where are they? I arced over there! Dead it in! I have an idea. I'm not full sending, I'm just doing this to throw my ult, that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Down one, down one! Let's go. Ring is closing this way, like towards me, and the squad's pushing this way. Caustical right there makes this area completely unusable. And a team like rotating that wants to rotate, like they'll have to find a different way, and like they can get shot at, hopefully by your squad, and get the kills. The next obvious role is he is a defense legend, of course. You know, he like bunkers down buildings, you know, he blocks doors, can create cover, deny access is kind of part of being a defense. Just make your base better. He's gonna allow your team's survival. He's gonna buy your team time, and it's just gonna add just so much like survivability to your team. Here. Also, one thing that Caustic can do that I don't see a lot of other Caustics do is you can be the aggressor on your team. With the level 2 perk upgrade to this 75% tac throw range, you could throw your traps really far. Like, check this out. Like, how many meters is that?
Conduct a search right here. Friendly trap deployed.
Like, we're looking at like 25, around 25 meters. Six! Push us! Dead! let's go now. I got it. A whole lot of loot. That's pretty insane because what that allows you to do is like being able to get your gas in further places than you would be able to normally. So like, say if there's a squad in this building, look at this, just chucking these in there. Like these are 2 gas traps that are like in here that will definitely tick if a team is in here. And look, if they shoot them, that's part of their mag that's getting wasted on a trap that would be shooting at you. And that just could buy you time to take shots, could buy time for your team to get there. If nothing else, you could just throw a trap up there to see if there's anybody up there. And they have to shoot it, or they're gonna run and you're gonna hear them run, or they're just gonna tick in your gas and, you know, obviously you'll know there's people then. And speaking of that, the last thing I want to talk about is he can provide recon for your team. And what I mean by that is like, so your team is rotating, like needs to rotate over there because the ring is coming this way, and say like you have to run through here. I am 100% placing like traps like this. Obviously better than that, I'm in third person right now, so it's kind of like hard to see. But I'm 100% placing traps like that as I run through here. And if any team decides to rotate through here, I will 100% know because my gas traps will go off. Say if it's like round 3, round 4, where the round, you know, the ring is ticking like pretty high, that's like chance for free kills. And I might insert some funny clips of me actually getting some, because it does happen. We could technically go, because I'll just set up traps, and if they come this way, I think we'll get the kills anyways. Oh. We just gotta be land safe. I'm getting more gas sticks, I got it down. Yeah, let's go. Yep. Let's go! 3 kills! You throw traps for defense, for aggression, you know, pushing, for cover. Like, there's different ways and different situations where you'll need your traps. But like, say like, for example, if there's like you know, enemies like on this red ping, like I'm fighting, like say I'm fighting behind this cover. You know, say I got like a flatty or something, you know, but like say I'm like just fighting like right here, I'm 100% placing a trap right here like this and still fighting around the cover like this, because if they push me, you know, they're gonna tick my gas. And you know, enemies from right here, I can't, like, you can barely see like the tip of the gas can. I can't 100% say there's a gas can right there as an enemy like that, you know. Like, and I'm Caustic, like this is a tall character, like Wraith or somebody is not gonna see like anything, you know. Like, so placing traps behind things is really key if we're like playing defensively as Caustic. So let's so some basic things that I didn't really go over, you know, for his trap placement. He has 3 traps on hand to throw out, but you can have a total of 6 gas cans on a map, like at a time. And what happens if you place more than 6? Mag in their gun, or they're gonna reload, gonna give you time to come over and shoot them, or, you know, like, it just puts your enemy in a really tough predicament, and it allows you to capitalize off of that. And also, like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be throwing traps as you're like running and pushing, because it doesn't slow your running speed. Like, look at this, like I'm still running the same speed, I'm not slowing speed. Show it again, third person. Actually, check this out.
Adding
So I'm not losing no speed as I'm throwing these.
variable. Adding another gas trap.
So there's no reason why, you know, as Caustic, you should not be throwing traps out in any situation that you see that you can use them in. Defensively, aggressively, for cover, for rezzing, even for looting. Like, I didn't talk about that, but like, you can also provide cover for looting. Like, say you just kill a squad, you know, say this is a dude's death box. Shoot this, and it provides a ton of cover. Like, look at that. That's a lot of cover. So, there's no reason why you shouldn't always be placing traps. That's one thing that I see often with other Caustics, is they don't throw their traps often enough. Like, that's a huge thing. And they don't throw them in good situations, don't throw them in good areas. And that'll just level you up as a Caustic. Of course, like, your gun skill and your aim is probably like, you know, 70-80% of what will get you kills and what will win you games. But like that other 10-20% of your gameplay is going to come from like the ability usage. I mean, that's what this game is about, this ability usage. So just make sure you get the most out of your traps. The thing about his gas trap placement, when you're in a building, when you want to block doors, you can. Like on a double door, this is obviously how you block it, but you don't want it to be too close, because if it's too close, it's going to actually push it open. But if you block any doors, you 100% want to let your teammates know.
Closed door here.
You 100% want to let your teammates know, because there's so many times where I've accidentally blocked teammates out. Just being safe, I would probably just throw a trap like this. You could still come in inside, and likely if a team, you know, tries to push in, it's going to tick off the gas can, so they're going to have to back up. They might shoot it out, you know, but that still provides a whole lot of time that you and your team can capitalize on that in any way that you want to. But with these type of doors are really good, because you can block it like this, and you can still have access coming in and out like this. Like, you know, you can still come in and out like this. Obviously, if you just close it like this, and you're blocked out. And as a Caustic, you know, if you're blocking doors, you 100% want to always tell your team what you're doing, because if a door is unaccessible, your team needs to know that. But one thing I'll say though, is if you're in a pinch, like say, you know, your team running here, the teammate gets knocked, you gotta close that door, don't worry about placing on the side if you gotta res your teammate, or if you're in a situation where you just gotta like block teammates from shooting at you. Like, just throw it on the door. Nice. Cracked. Yo, how did she not kill me? That's so bad. I got him trapped! They're still trapped! I got knocked! I ulted! No! Alright guys, next thing I want to talk about is the ultimate. Of course, you can't use the ultimate as free willy as you use the traps. That's why as the traps, you should be just be chucking these out. Like, there's no reason, you know, you can't be chucking those out all the time. Probably the most situation I use it in is a lot of like, you know, desperate situations, like where I like need cover like extremely bad. A teammate gets knocked right in the open. And I have like no traps or nothing, you know, and this is like my only chance to res him. Like, I'll throw it in a situation like that. I'll just go over his cooldown is 3 minutes for his cooldown on his ultimate if you throw it. But with the gold helmet, it reduces it by 20%, which is honestly huge. So with also with the gas ultimate, obviously one of the biggest ways you can use it is as an aggressive tool, you know. Like this whole entire room right here with that 50% gas ult increase. it just completely floods this whole room.
I still see everything.
Just completely floods the whole room with gas. And with the buff to the damage recently, I think it can be really used to capitalize and get a lot of kills. Nice, we got one down. I'm ulting. Dead. Dead. Another Caustic. Thing is dead. I'm ulting. They're all on me. They're all on me. Caustic is dead. Let's go. There's like two squads left. Okay, so finally for the perks, been talking about these the whole time. For the first level 2 perk, the Nox Vision is obviously really great to have, but being able to throw your traps out 75% farther almost can make Caustic like an aggressive legend, like if you use them right. And like what I was talking about with my trap placement and like using an aggressive way, especially being able to throw them out this far from that perk, like you could really use him in almost a totally different way. With the extra Nox Vision, that doesn't really change the game, I don't think, for Caustic. Like, yeah, it's like great, but like a lot of times when you throw your ultimate on somebody, or if they're tick on your gas, like, you know, like you're gonna see them anyways. So it's like, I don't know, I don't think the extra time really provides a whole lot, in my opinion. So if the level 3, the regen health is nice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it is nice, but it's really slow. Like, let me show you guys. Hold up. All right, so you guys see my health. You know, I would say, you know, I'm definitely one shot right now. So let's see how fast it heals.
I still see everything. This upgrade should streamline my experiments.
See, it's really slow. And, you know, obviously I didn't get the full usage out of that can, but I didn't get a whole lot of health from that. Like, I'm still really low right now.
My vision is clear.
So I'd say a full can does about 25 HP. Obviously that's, you know, also taking in the full time that can is out. Like, that's really slow and it's not a whole lot, but it can be good in certain situations. But I don't think that's, you know, bigger than having a bigger gas hole, because like with the bigger gas hole, that just provides even more like capabilities for Caustic like that. I think that goes really well with his traps, him being more aggressive, his area control being stronger, his defense being better. Like, it just makes everything about Caustic better. Also, like, especially if you have like a lifeline on your squad with that drone, which one of my teammates, he mains lifeline like a lot. So if you play with a lifeline, there's no reason you should ever pick that perk. Ever. So if you ever have a lifeline in your squad, just don't even think about ever picking that perk ever. But honestly, I wouldn't think about picking that perk in most situations anyways. Yeah, that's my take on that. Caustic. For me, I love the Peacekeeper. I'm not even gonna lie, the Peacekeeper is like my favorite gun in the game, even being a console player, like a controller player. You know, normally, I would say majority of PK users are PC users. Like, it's really good on mouse and key, and I understand that, but I think the Peacekeeper is really good. And I think it's especially good on Caustic, because a lot of times with Caustic, you're in situations where you're like peeking, then you want to take cover. Like, look, with a gas trap, like, look how much cover that provides. Like, your whole body can almost be covered in it. And especially if it's going off, like, it's hard to see you too. You know, and like with the PK, of course you want to choke it, you know, like this. and just peek like that. Of course, you know, the Mastiff is also probably a great option. I'm not too big fan of the Mozambique, but you know, if that's your thing, I see, you know, there's people that use it, you know, but I recommend using a shotgun with Caustic, like period, actually. With his gas traps and with his ultimate, like what you can capitalize off of that with shotguns, I think is really huge. Capitalize off the gas best with shotguns. And with the said shotgun, I would majority recommend running an AR. Like the flatline, I think works really well with the Peacekeeper, in my opinion. You know, and this is, I recommend like running a Bruiser majority of the time. But the flatline, I think, covers like your mid and even close combat's really good because it's like the hipfire on it's pretty good. Like, especially if you're really up close, and the mag size is huge, so you can keep strafing back and forth, and like you can just keep unloading, you know, especially like I said, if you're close. If your recoil control is really good, you can maybe get away with running an SMG. I love running SMG shotgun for like pubs if I'm just like kill grinding or just like, you know, hot dropping, just killing, you know. I love running SMG and shotgun. I feel like having the AR really covers your mid-range game, because having the shotgun, of course, you know, you don't really have much of mid-range game. But with a fully charged PK shot, like, you would be surprised of how hard it hits from pretty far out. You'd be surprised. I would have it again instantly. So theoretically, if you have 3 ultic cells in your bag, you basically have 2 caustic ults
Level 4.
on you. So the next part, I want to talk about like good legends that synergy well with Caustic. Obviously with Caustic, he's a defensive legend, so he doesn't have any movement abilities. So having a legend that has some movement ability is good, but it's not like 100% like requirement, but it does provide a lot of capabilities. Because I think having a movement legend, you know, it's like almost like, say if you have like a Pathfinder, you know, it could set you a grapple to like a building or something. You know, as a Caustic, you can ride this in, just immediately set traps in the building. You know, it's almost like if you have a Pathfinder or any movement legend, you basically kind of have like a movable base, if you want to think about it like that. So any movement legend's good. I think Wraith is also really good because as Caustic, you know, you can trap both ends of a portal. You know, if you have a good Wraith that knows how to kidnap, you know, you can set up like a death trap for that kidnap. which is really fun to do. So yeah, Caustic and Wraith pair really well together. I think all like support legends pair really well with Caustic, 'cause especially like if your other third goes down, like say like if you have Lifeline, and like say I'm like Caustic and say I have a Lifeline, and say whoever the third teammate is goes down, well the Lifeline could pop that, you know, res on the teammate while I'm Caustic and I'm just throwing gas all around, you know, just securing the area, making sure he can heal or whoever can heal all the way up and get back in the fight. So I think like even like if Gibby like throwing a dome down, like as Caustic I'm throwing barrels in this, you know. So I think all support legends also really pair well with Caustic, in my opinion. Another interesting one is Bangalore, I think also pairs really well with Caustic. Because like say, you know, if your team's in the open, of course, like the bank smokes have been really good recently, especially for ranked, and you even been seeing a ton of bang in ALGS and all that. Because of what this provides, is like, that's like a ton of cover. But what bang synergies really well with Caustic is because like with bang and Caustic, you get like double cover. You get cover from the bang smokes, but then as Caustic, like say those smokes, like she threw those smokes down, I would just be throwing my gas in it like this, and nobody will see the traps being placed, so nobody will instantly shoot them out like enemies, because the smoke is covering them. And say the smoke disappears, well we could, if we want, we could shoot the gas, and now we just got more bang smoke, while Bangalore is currently getting her cooldown from new smokes. So it just provides double cover for your team with Caustic and Bang, and that's why also Bloodhound is a really good pair in that team, like Caustic, Bang, and Blood. That's been a really popular team in ALGS because like the double cover and the scans like just go crazy. And of course with Caustic you can pair like more defense legends, you know, like you can have double. I never recommend running triple defense unless you're just trolling, because like I just think you just get way more out of running more legends than just like all defense. But having a second defense can be helpful, especially if you really love running buildings and your team's really good at running buildings. You can really like lock down a building like with a Caustic Watson, or even a Caustic Cat. Even Caustic Rampart's kind of cool too. But I would say they're pretty okay fits, but I'd say other legends maybe pair a little bit better, like movement legends, support legends pair really well. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'd say about that. If you are watching this far, you're definitely a true member of the Gas Army, because you're dope. Alright, thanks for watching. Gas out, guys.
Introducing a new variable.